welcome to livealittlehigher.com. We continue learning the book of the Beis HaLevi on Ahavat Israel, love of your fellow, and we're in chapter 9, and it's called the destruction of the first and second Beit HaMikdash. So the Gemara is telling us that the period of the first Beit HaMikdash, this temple was destroyed, the iniquity was revealed. So what does it mean? It says that we know why it was destroyed. It was destroyed because people were idol worshiping, they were murdering, and they were committing adultery. Then from the destruction of the first temple to the construction of the second temple was 70 years that the people were in exile, and they came back. But why did we know when it was going to be rebuilt? This was in the prophecies. It was because we knew what the sins were. They were revealed. But the sins that were committed during the times of the second temple, that were the reason why the temple was destroyed, we know it's sinat hinam, it's baseless hatred, but we don't know why people hated each other. There's no revelation of what caused the hatred, and because it was not revealed, then we are in a limbo and we have no idea when the third temple is gonna come. Okay, so this is basically what we're learning in this week, in this class. So it says that furthermore, what is the connection between the revealed sins and the revealed time for the exile? And the Beis HaLevi explains that when Yaakov Avinu, our forefather Yaakov, was dying, he gave his children his final blessing. In his deathbed, he summoned them and he says, "Gather and I will tell you what will happen to you at the end of time." And then again, in the following verse, he says, "Gather and listen, sons of Yaakov." Why did he use the term gather twice? So Rashi explains that Yaakov originally planned to reveal the time of the final redemption, but when his sons arrived, he realized that the Shekhinah, the divine presence, had left him, so he blessed them instead. So what was the problem here? He had it in the tip of his tongue. He was ready to tell them the date in which the Beit HaMikdash was going to be revealed. And the Baal HaTurim adds a fascinating insight. He says that when Yaakov saw that the Shekhinah had departed, he asked his children, "Perhaps there is a sin amongst you?" And they replied, "Look carefully into the letters with which our 12 names are formed, and there is no letter Het." So the letter Het is it spells the word Het, which means sin, and they imply this is a sign that we do not have any sin amongst us. But also, to which Yaakov replied, "True, but nor do you have the letters Kuf or Tzadi, which spells the word final redemption, Ketz. And that is why he did not reveal the time of the final redemption to them." And so what is the meaning of all this? And the Hatam Sofer, he adds something beautiful, and he says, as the Beit HaLevi mentions from the Gemara, since the sin of Sinat Hinam was not revealed, so too the length of the exile that it caused was not revealed earlier. Another commentary says that the Yaakov didn't tell the sons when the final redemption would come, because he could see that we were going to have very hard times. The Jewish people were going to have to go through horrible times. We know Inquisition, exiles, Inquisition, crusades, pogroms, Holocaust, terrorism. What we're going now, it's you name it. We've gone through everything, hatred, anti-Semitism. So he said, like, it's so long that it's going to come that if I tell them when it's going to be, maybe they're going to lose hope. And so based on this premise, the Hatam Sofer explains that although the letters Het and Tes spelling Het, sin, were not included in the letters forming the names of the Shevatim, of the tribes, this was not necessarily a positive sign, because the letter Kuf and Tzadi spelling Ketz, the end of the exile, the end of days, days were likewise not there. That is, the head was hidden, and therefore the ketz was hidden as well. So the sins were hidden, and the time of redemption was hidden. So Yaakov was foreseeing the cause of the destruction of the second Beit HaMikdash, the second temple, which came because of Sinat Hinam, baseless hatred, and as well as its long and bitter results, and this seemingly never-ending galut is which we are still mirrored in. We're still here crying. It's never-ending. So that's why Yaakov Avinu told his sons to gather together, meaning that they should unite as one. And this is so important. This is exactly what the Jewish people need. Unity. I don't know how more to say it. We need to put our differences on the sides and really concentrate on what really matters, which is to be united. Because only through Ahavas Israel, only through love between each other, will the Beit HaMikdash will be rebuilt. And it says, because the Beit HaMikdash was destroyed because of baseless hatred, it's going to be built through baseless love. We have to love each other no matter what. There has to be no reason to love each other. We have to just love each other. So it says, this is so since the outcome depends on the magnitude of the sin that will subsequently sprout from it. In this way, the exile becomes extended. Just as a doctor will not provide a limit to a patient as to the duration of his treatment, as long as his illness has not been divulged to others, but remains hidden within him, similarly the end of the exile was not revealed. And indeed now we see with our own eyes how much this exile has been extended. It's been forever, more than 1,000 years that we've been in exile, far more than the first exile. First exile was only 70 years. It was a lifetime, less than like a person that was exiled was able to come back. It was the same generation. So the hatred has corrupted us, and more than the cardinal sins there were transgressed in the time of the first Beit HaMikdash, whatever we're now enduring because of these sins and suffering is all product of the initial hatred. So when a person hates another person, although it may seem though he committed only one sin, in truth there are many sins hidden beneath the hatred. You know, hatred takes us to commit even worse things. And this is what we have to be careful, that we have to really work on this bad characteristic of hating people, of not being more humble, less hateful, more loving, less judgmental, trying to understand why people act the way they act. And instead of blaming others for everything, we should really look at each other with the eyes of love and patience and compassion. You know what? There's divine justice. There's things that are just too big for us. We cannot take certain decisions in our own hands. They're too big for us. If we take it upon ourselves, and I think this is the challenge of our times, this is really the test of our times, is that Jewish people all around have to really look at their divinity and look at each person as a spark of God, as a holy person, no matter where they are, how they are. Just embrace that, and you tell Hashem, you know what, I love your kids, I love your children. Sometimes I don't think the same way as they do, and sometimes I don't live the same way as they do, and sometimes I'm not okay with things they do. You don't have to agree with everything, but you can love them. And in this way, we will be able to rebuild, we will be able to come back home, and Hashem will send us our temple, and it's going to be indestructible, but it has to come through us. There's a story that a child, it tells the father, the father is giving candy to the children, to his children, and one of the brothers, the older brother, steals the candy from the little brother. And the little brother, instead of going and fighting with the brother, goes to the father and says, Father, I know you love all of us. I know we're all your children. I don't want to fight with your child. I just want my candy. I'm not going to fight with my brother for the candy. Can you give me more candy? And the father looks at the son and he says, you know what, because you've been so good, I'm going to give you better candy. And this is the way it should be. When we see people in our midst that we would love to hit them in the face, just control yourself, go to God, say, Hashem, I know he's your child too. I know he's your child too. I don't want to fight with that. I don't want to have to fight with this person. Just love me, love him too. Show us the love. And I'm sure Hashem will open will part the ocean for us. And we'll be able to live the way we're intended to live. So I wish you a blessed week, and remember, live a little higher. Thank you.